Hi guys, welcome back to another one of our bow reviews. At the moment we're doing premium reviews, so we are looking at all that higher echelon type bows. Right now we're probably going to do top 1, 2 depending on who you are and what you're going to say about this, and you're going to disagree with me, I don't care, but this is pretty much in our top 2 of risers available. Today we're talking about the Win and Win Inno CXT. It's been around now for a couple of years, and look, this bow's history speaks for itself. Started out a bit sort of profusely back a few years ago with just the straight Inno and the aspect on the APEC. The APEC was quite successful for Win and Win. Then they came out with the first Inno, which kind of really didn't take the market by storm. Then they came back with the CXT and they really hit the gong big time on this one. So this one we have in front of us today is a 25-inch limited edition, black, gold and white. Very, very smart bow. Very clean. We'll pull that back there so we get focus. Again, it covers our boxes as far as the limb pocket system goes. Lovely big bolt here, lovely big Allen key here. However, the limb pocket's very tidy, so it really does rely on the fact of this tightening in here that keeps that all alignment true. So the way this one works is by loosening these off, this plate will shift left or right. So these do control that plate. Very much similar to the Hoyt systems that you see in the high-end bows, and like the MK riser as well. We will get to the Inno Max when they actually arrive. At the moment, as quick as we get them, they're gone. So I'm struggling to actually get one to be able to do a review for you at the moment. So please bear with us while we wait for that bow to turn up. But at the moment, they're just pumping them out. So guys, if you do want an Inno Max, please by all means order it quickly, because they are really behind on getting them out. So, but look, CXT's been around for a while, very good bow. Probably the biggest gold medalist runner against the gold medalist. It really gives it a run for its money. About a year ago, these were one of the most dominant bows on the center stage through that 2010-2011 series. You know, probably 1 out of every 3 archers were using a Win and Win, and it was just so prevalent and so strong. Win and Win are very successful in countries like France, and even America and England. They're very successful over there. In Australia, they're growing very fast here as well. Look, everything about the Win and Win is generally just screams product. Win and Win take a lot of time and a lot of pride in making the product look very finished and very clean. It's one thing about Win and Win products across the board. Everything they manufacture, everything they do is clean and precise, and the quality control is absolutely exceptional. The biggest downside to Win and Win, a lot of their stuff has gone back to China to be made. So, you know, but they seem to be keeping the quality control there. Won't lie, there have been occasions of a couple of Inno CXTs cracking. I've seen it mainly in 27-inch and the longer versions. But then again, look, I personally own a CXT as well, have had for many years, and it's never let me down. Many members from my club shoot Win and Win Inno CXTs as well, never had a problem. So look, when we say there's been 1 or 2 that are cracking, we are really saying there's been 1 or 2 that have cracked. So when you look at a global market, that's a pretty low percentage, but it's because it's probably just due to a carbon issue in a certain batch of risers. So I wouldn't be screaming or worried that your bow's going to break or what have you. It really are isolated incidences. But look, Win and Win are very, very good at dealing with those warranty claims. So don't fret if something does happen to your bow. If it happens within 3 years, they'll generally repair it, get it back to you, no problems at all. So you really won't be out of pocket too much. Again, when buying your bow though, when you're dealing with these sort of warranty claims or anything like that, make sure you buy from an actual dealer, not somebody who's just buying through somebody else and then they have to try and go through somebody else to deal with it. Companies like myself, you know, and a few others around the world, we deal direct with the manufacturer, so when we have a warranty claim, we get it straight back to them, it gets done and it's back to us. We're not going through third parties or fourth parties. So when you're talking to the dealer that you're buying it off, make sure that they are a legitimate dealer and they're not just on the net or something like that. Most of those on the net companies are really not legitimate dealers. So just be very careful with that when you are buying these sorts of bows. The other thing to consider too when you're buying high-end bows is really look at the company that are doing it. What are they forcing you into? Are they forcing you Hoyt, forcing you Win and Win, Samick or whatever? Really do look at what they're doing and how they're offering you the product. Look, as far as Win and Win goes in this range, the new Inno Max has come out it's a much chunkier version of the CXT, a bit heavier again. The CXT comes in at about 1150 grams on the nose. Then of course with their adding weight system, which you can see here, you can actually add an extra 150 grams of weight through the weights they provide with the bow. When you get the riser out of Win and Win, it comes with its own little clean cloth, it comes with the weights, it comes with all the Allen keys, comes with a lovely bow sleeve. So again, a very finished product there. What limbs are you going to use with it? Look, you can use anything in that ILF range, but most people, Win and Win, generally use Win and Win. Again, you can consider the Samick Extremes or the Samick Masters. They're very good limbs as well. So, you know, when looking for limbs to suit this riser, it really comes down to a personal preference, but most cases it's usually Win and Win Prime or Win and Win X Prime, X Power limbs, sorry, my apologies. One of the good things is though in the 2013 lineup of the Win and Win limb range is they now offer them in a carbon finish as well. So whether or not you go the X Power or the X Primes, you can actually get them in a lovely, fantastic, very sexy carbon finish. They really do look the money, and guys, well worth every cent. Look, you know, this riser here is a limited edition, so these are expensive. These do get up in the high 700 figure marks. And a lot of it's got to do with the gold plating they've put on this, the colour coordination they've used. Look, it's a very, very stylish bow, this one, but you would either consider most of the others, and one of the most popular two colours that was in their range was the matte grey and the matte black. Very nice bows. Negatives though, matte colours, little scratches, little blemishes, all that kind of stuff, they really do show up in the riser. So if you're an OCD person and you like that clean look, shiny look, then you're definitely not going to go for a matte look. So with the new carbon ones coming through, I think that might change it a little bit, and hopefully those marks will stop. But definitely in the matte colours, any sort of blemish and it really does show up. There's not a lot of other negatives we can talk about. However, Win and Win do offer two other ranges that most of the other manufacturers do not offer, which is a 26-inch version and a 27-inch. InnoMax, when we get to that one, will not be available in the 26. But in the CXT, 25, 26 and 27 inch are available and readily available as well. General lead time on one of these bows, if we don't have it in stock, or most people don't have it in stock, is generally 1 to 2 weeks out of Win and Win. So look, you're not going to be sitting around waiting months and months and months and months and months for your riser to turn up. Efficient dealers will get it to you nice and quick. But look guys, if you're just starting out in this sport, please, please, please don't go jumping into these really, really high-end risers. Consider the lower risers, because they're going to educate you, train you, and get you into much better form. And they're going to get you to a point where eventually you will pick up a riser like this, or a GMX, or a Samick Masters, and you're just going to nail it. You're going to shoot absolutely perfect. Any shop that talks you into buying a high-end bow like this, and when I say high-end, I'm talking anything above $550 straight off the cuff. Any shop that does that straight away, guys, you've got to query where they're coming from. If you've just started out in this sport, you've got to think of risers very much like cars. If you're just learning to drive a car, would you go out and buy a Ferrari? No, you wouldn't. You'd go out and buy a very humble little car, depending on where you are in the world, something like a little Fiat, Peugeot, or in Australia, you know, we'd be talking little, you know, Commodore, something like that, something that doesn't have a lot of power. And you would learn how to drive it. When you're competent, you're going to jump into a much higher and much better car. Bows are very much the same thing. I went off topic there, but bows are very much the same thing. When you're considering that bow, walk before you can run, guys. Because what will happen is you'll go out, you will buy this high-end riser, and you will shoot terribly for the first few weeks, and you're going to go, my bow's terrible, I shouldn't have bought it, I regret doing it, and you're going to give the sport away. Take 2 seconds. Because there's two things you can do. By buying a lower end riser, you can spec that riser up over the next 1 to 2 years. You can upgrade your limbs, you can upgrade your stabilizers and all the bits on that bow. And then when you're grouping consistently at about 50 meters and you're getting a group sort of about the size of a small dinner plate, you know, and it's consistent, that's when you're ready to jump into these much higher risers. But if you're going to do bare bow or something like that, These aren't bad for bare bow, okay? They're quite sturdy, they're quite stiff, they're a bit thuddy. With bare bow, you're not allowed a lot of weight on the bow, so these are actually not a bad riser for that kind of market. The GMX is actually not too bad as well. I wouldn't consider the formulas though for a bare bow setup. They really do need all the stabilization and all the bits and pieces in it. They like that kind of a setup. But most of these risers will take the standard shot without too much weight or dampening. So it's very much a riser that you would consider for that market as well. But again, as I say, guys, when considering high-end risers, don't jump straight into the first thing that you can get. Really do look around, consider what is available to you in the world market. In recurves, you know, there's really only a few brands out there in the world that that offer a very good broad spectrum. Let's start from the top. We have Win and Win, we have Hoyt, we have Samick, we have Bernardini, we have Fiber Bow, we have Border, MK now are coming through as well. The problem with MK is a lot of it's quite expensive gear, you know, so there's only a few dealers out there that deal in MK. We will get to MK in another review. The problem is actually getting a riser, so we actually, you know, we will get to it when we get to it, guys. But look, if you have any more questions on Win and Win products or the Win and Win CXT or the InnoMax, please reply to this YouTube post, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Also, if you have any, you know, sort of ideas on pricing or anything, visit our website at www.finditarcherysupplies.com.au. And again, you can contact us through the Contact Us section of the website, or the live chat function. If you see it, it says it's online, and somebody will always get back to you very, very quickly and very promptly. So for now, guys, happy shooting, and we'll come back with another bow review soon.